What's up everybody, it's been a while, but I'm back and my gears are pumping and ready to talk about Eden Zero and the fantastic start to the Sun Jewel arc. So without further ado, I'm Ozzy, and this is my Eden Zero Chapter 53 analysis. So before we get into Chapter 53, I want to give a quick summary as well as my thoughts on the arc thus far. A few chapters back, the crew of the Eden Zero, sans Wise, landed on the luxurious planet of Sun Jewel to search for Valkyrie. Wise, in the meantime, choosing to stay behind and work on some kind of new weapon, as well as in order to keep tabs on the mysterious stowaway, Captain Connor. Which turns out to be fortunate because it looks like we're going to need his backup as well as his expertise in order to take on the reigning authority of the Scarlet Woman. Shiki and Homura have already fallen into trouble and were cast down into the mines, and it's up to Rebecca, Happy, and Pino to find and rescue them. But if things weren't dire enough as it is, Draken Joe is already on the planet looking for them and the ship, and to add even more fuel to the fire, the Scarlet Woman is looking to screw him over. Needless to say, it's about to go down. So that brings us to Chapter 53, titled Poyo Poyo Ruby-chan. Yep, this goes exactly where I was hoping it wouldn't, but at the same time it leads to some great character moments. So this chapter essentially boils down to a deal taking place between Rebecca and Lavilia. First off, I want to point out how much I appreciate Happy being immediately pissed off. He's ready to tussle and he already knows what's going down. So Lavilia wants Rebecca to dress up in an embarrassing cosplay so that she can profit off of it. Classic jealous bully tactics. But then in comes Nino. And I gotta say, I like that he's not just some creepy anime guy. I mean, the whole anime will save the world line was appropriately cringy, but all in all, I like how he is out loud and proud about it, even going as far as to compliment Rebecca about it. Now, a big thing that I want to point out, because I honestly didn't even realize it myself until I read the chapter a few times, is that Rebecca was genuinely invested in this. It was forced and embarrassing, but ultimately she believed that she was helping a friend, and that this person, although rude and demeaning in the past, was helping her out as well. Not just in finding the slums, but also in showcasing her creative process. However, to the surprise of probably no one, Lavilia embarrassed and ridiculed her in a very Carrie-esque fashion. So now I want to go down the list and pinpoint exactly what I think is great about the reactions of our protagonists. So first off, I enjoyed how angry Happy got. It was as if he intended to handle the rest of this situation by himself, and I believe that it is a fantastic showcasing of the symbiotic relationship he and Rebecca have for him to not only come to her defense, but also to be angry on her behalf. Second, we have Pino, and I have to say, my heart dropped into my stomach at this panel. I was ready to hop into the screen and drown Lavilia and Pino's tears when I saw her crying like that. I can't recall exactly, but I believe this is one of the first times that Pino has had to watch someone she holds dear go through something like this. She didn't have friends before them. She has always been the one to be abused and ridiculed. So for someone so precious to her to suffer like this must be excruciating. Next off, we have Rebecca. This scene speaks volumes about her maturity. She doesn't lash out and she doesn't cry. Honestly, she simply got snapped back into reality of how awful Lavilia is and got back down to business. Even when Lavilia did break her end of the deal and run off, she remained cool-headed. Which I also want to point out that if she did lash out and attack Lavilia in some way, she would have gotten into trouble. I commend her ability to remain untilted despite the circumstances. After it's revealed that Nino knows the way to the slums, we jump over to Homura being tortured. During this scene, we are given a revelation as to a minor weakness to all Ether Gear users. The explanation is a tad obvious, but regardless, it's not a thought process I figured these powers would follow. Simply put, stopping the ability to rearrange Ether will prevent people from using Ether Gear. According to the example, this is done by restraining their hands. I personally figured that they could use any part of their body to do it, but now we know for certain. The chapter ends with Shiki storming in to rescue Homura. I'm so glad that this time in the mines isn't going to be dragged out through guilt trip. The pacing of this arc has been moving along smoothly so far and I'm loving it. That's all for this chapter analysis. I'm sorry about the hiatus, but I'm back in action now. Let me know what you guys think about this arc so far, and be sure to like the video if you want to see more Eden Zero content in the future. Until next time, Seal.